Hi guys, welcome back to the Fermented World channel. Today we're looking in on the orange mead, which I made using orange juice, oranges, and a lemon. So the oranges actually just needed using up, so I banged them in anyway. Wasn't going to use them, but they needed using up, or they were going to get wasted. They were at the point where no one was going to eat them, but they were good enough for fermentable sugars. So they went in. One lemon. I left some of the skins in there as well, of the orange and the lemon, just because it adds a bit of a bitterness, or it can add a bit of bitterness. It's got potassium bicarbonate in. Is it bicarbonate? I think it is bicarbonate. And what this does is it just reduces the acidity a little bit. I very rarely use it, so I always forget. Yeah, potassium bicarbonate. You get that in foods as well to reduce acidity. Normal yeast nutrients, half a pack of mangrove jack's yeast, and some pectolase. Now, we're going to take a hydrometer reading. We're going to see what the gravity is. I mean, this started at 1.138, so it's quite a lot higher than it would normally start. So I'm predicting if this is finished, I'd say we've probably got 18% maybe, and there should be a little bit of residual sugar as well. Hopefully it's not gone 100% dry and it's not too strong. Having it strong is good, but yeah, it's not always the way for me. I've learned recently, well, say recently, within the last few brews, that a higher ABV gives it an actual flavour. So if you can keep it a little bit lower, it does help. Around the 11 to 13 mark is like a happy medium, but most of the time I don't have time to get back to the mead to then sort it out and do what I want to do with it. So anywho, let's jibber jabber. I mean, that's pretty much drying out. It's been in there so long. This was started on the 20th of last month. It's now the 17th, so you can do the math for how long it's been going. I'm not even going to attempt it. Smells all right, which is always a good sign. So first things first, we take a hydrometer reading. Do the science first, and then we can taste it. No tasting until the science is done. We're cutting below that line of peel and raisins and stuff as well, for obvious reasons. Okay. So we're actually on the dot. So that's at 1.000. Now it could go 0.10 lower than that, but if it's reached 18%, the yeast would have died. Wow, that's different. It's almost got like a perfumed taste to it, which I think has come from putting the peel in. It's nice. It tastes strong. Let's quickly figure out what it's going to be. Okay, so strong is not the word. This is at 18.8%. What you can do, it can be on one side or the other or in the middle. It doesn't have instructions. The yeast doesn't know what it's supposed to be doing. So we've got an absolute bomber of a beverage there. There's not a lot of sweetness. There's something there. That's actually very nice. It's very moreish. The only problem is it's a bit bloody strong. Now I could dilute it. Could. But do I want to? No. No, I don't. Because that's a faff I can't be bothered with. But what we are going to do is we're going to backsweeten this. Or are we? Better be careful not to have too much of a sample, otherwise I'll be sozzled before the kids come home. And that will not be good. Oh, not before the weekend anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of honey into this little sample that I've poured out there. So this is actually a prime example, really. I am a lid licker, definitely. I'm not wasting it. A prime example for a follower, a subscriber, sorry, who asked how you get an ABV above 16 and 18, because he's stuck at 3, he or she, sorry, not sure who you are, what you are, and they seem to be stuck at the 13 mark, and I think it's because of the yeast they're using. I think they're using a yeast that's got a tolerance of 13. So for example, with this had a high start gravity of 1.138. It's fermented all the way out to 1.000, which has given us 18.8%. Now the tolerance of my yeast is 18%, but it's managed to carry on that little bit somehow to be able to give us that massive alcohol content. Sweetening it made it nice, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to back sweeten this. But not with too much. Oh. Jesus Christ. That caught me off guard, that did. That's strong. Excuse my language, but woo! That's woo! Oh my giddy on. Right, let's get this wrapped off before I fall over. God damn it. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. So we're going to be adding fermentation stoppers, even though we're not going to need them because it's not going to be able to ferment any further than what it's at now. That's the petalase, so I don't need that. What I do need is Camden tablets, and where the bloody hell is that gone? There was loads of them. I'm sure there was one here. Here we go. That's it. So 1 Camden tablet and half a teaspoon per gallon. So we're doing a gallon batch, so we do half a teaspoon of potassium sorbate. And what these fermentation stoppers do is they kind of create a bubble around the yeast, stopping it from being able to consume any more sugars. Now, this is past the tolerance of what it should be able to continue to ferment, but as we can see, it's already gone past the 18. It's at 18.8 or 18.77 to be precise, but you're just a little bit closer to the 8 for me, so we're going for 8. And if we do add honey, I don't want this to then carry on. I don't think it would. I genuinely don't think it could. I think the yeast has died, because if it could have carried on, this would have been at like 9.900, you know, so but it's not. So there's still, like, you know, that 0.10 whatever it was available to ferment, but we don't want that to happen. So we're definitely not risking it. And let's speed this bit up because racking is boring. Right, so we've racked most of it. There goes my bloody microphone nearly down the back of the cabinet. I decided to put it on here because I think close to my chest, I think it's picking up like vibrations and just giving not the best sound off. So I'm going to try it over there. And that's the first time I've knocked it off. So I'm sure that's going to happen a few more times. So we did lose a bit. Quite a bit to the yeast actually. I don't know why that yeast pile's so big. Never normally is. Never ever seen it that big. That bit needs to go in there, and that bit for now. Right, so we've put the stoppers in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some honey. We don't want to over sweeten it. Because once you've put it in there, you can't take it out. So if you go for half, see what sweetness you've got. Because that's still like 300 and something grams. Now, normally I aim for about 400 grams to back sweeten, but this has got that nice tartness, that citrusy vibe, and I don't want to blank that out because otherwise it'd have been pointless doing one made with orange juice. So, see where we're at now. That's still at 500. Can't be. Oh no, it was 750, wasn't it? Need it at 375. Take a glug. $4.58. $4.12. Just near us, damn it. You know I'm not a perfectionist. Right, so now we're going to gently mix all that honey in. This is going to take some time because we do not want to add any oxygen to this, or as that can be bad for the brew. At 18%, I very much doubt the fact we will catch an infection with this. Any bacteria that's in there is just going to get killed. Straight up killed. I mean, I wouldn't say you could wash a wound with this, but flipping hell, it's got some bite. I mean, from the small bit that I've had, I can actually feel it, you know, like something. I mean, it's close to a spirit, isn't it, that? 18.8%. That's the strongest mead I've ever done. And that's not for the one to try them. So we're mixing the stoppers in at the same time as the honey. It does take a while. See, there's still there. So when you think you're finished and you can't see it dribbling off anymore and it just looks like water, carry on going. Because chances are there's still some at the bottom, but we are trying to be careful doing this as well. And we are also decarbonising as well at the same time. Now, this is still quite hazy. Whether it will completely clear out, I do not know. But if it's left long enough, you know that it's good. You know that it's not going to hurt you. But we'll see if it clears out or not. Okay. So I'm going to say that's mixed in. That has bolstered it up to just over 4 litres now. Let's have a quick sample. See what it tastes like. See whether we're going to be adding any more honey. To be fair, I don't think we will. Now that's good. Nice and sweet, and it's got plenty of orange kick to it still, which is good. So let's take a hydrometer reading. Reason why we do another one now is so that we make sure that the reading that we have now and the reading we have when we come to bottle it is the same. That is how we know it has finished fermenting. Okay, so that's shot up now to the 28 mark. So on the 17th, 17th to the 5th, 23, 1.0. Oh, it's actually on the 30 mark actually. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah. 3, 0, which for a strong mead, to be fair, that's quite a good sweetness. I'm not going to be bothered about that one bit. I think you kind of need that sweetness to mask the intensity of the alcohol, because god damn, that's strong. Right, so we are now going to go and clean this out, because I don't actually have an empty vessel at the moment because I've got loads of meads on. Quick glance over just so you can't see what they all are before I've uploaded them. Steal my ideas, you know. Not that anyone would do that, would they? Righto. So let's take that out of there. Let's go get this cleaned up. I can just sit in there, wedged in for now. I don't think any flies are going to get into this. If they do, they're going to die instantly. But I will put a precautionary cover on top just in case while we go clean this demijohn out. Okay, there we have it. It's a lovely colour. If it stays like that, it's not really going to be a bad thing, but we do want it to clear out just so we know that there's no yeast floating around in it. I'm just going to top this up with some fresh sanitizer water for the sink. We'll pop that down here and we'll keep an eye on it, wait for it to fizzle out, clear out, and then we'll get it bottled. So far so good, tastes nice. It's strong as an ox. Oh! One dead fly. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.